Roberts, and of course, welcome to the show. I'm so used to saying acting up live or acting up radio because I did that for 7 years, interviewing all kinds of wonderful people in the industry. But I got to get used to saying filmfestivallive.com. You can check us out on filmfestivallive.com. You probably could see the live stream right there on the page, or you can click on any of the links of our Facebook page or YouTube page or wherever, and we're live. And so if you have any comments, suggestions, or whatever, other than you don't like the color of my shirt, today all you have to do is just type it in, and we would love to answer the questions. I'm very excited about our guest today, and especially the subject of women in film. And I'm so excited by this because I have said for the longest time that if you want a job done right, get a woman to do it. And as a humorist, I used to say all the time, behind every great man is a woman in front of him with his car keys and directions so he doesn't get lost. Funny, and at the same time, I would be walking into walls if I didn't have my wife. And it wouldn't be half as successful as I am. And I am because of my wife. So there it is. With that being said, welcome to the show and all kinds of fun things happening. I really want to see our show happening on Friday, but most likely I'm going to be masking up and heading to Las Vegas for the Action on Film Festival because I actually am getting a Best Actor award, which I'm very excited, which was supposed to have happened a year ago from an international film festival in Italy, but because of COVID. And now I'm being told by my wife and other people that are concerned about me, don't go. But I gotta go to be able to hold on to that thing and say, yay. But it's not easy. So let's be honest. If you're on set anywhere, you know that the protocol for the new variants and the things happening are starting to get tighter because unfortunately, I'm not going to make this a political statement, but people have decided that they don't want to get vaccinated. And I think that's part of the solution. So with that being said, if you're out there and you're working in this industry, it's going to get a little tighter because they want people to survive. So crazy how that works. In regards to acting and all that other fun stuff, in a little bit, we will certainly get into some of the other stuff about whether you're an actor, a director, a producer, and all this other fun stuff. But without further ado, let's get to the real guest here. I'm going to click on a demo that you can see, and you're going to love this because I do, and it is something you should watch, and we'll be right back with our guest.
It's a very nice event.
I've been there with the unmitigated disaster, but they were wonderful learning experiences.
And I truly believe that we are on the threshold of immense change.
And I wanted my film here.
I love the name. But this is one of the, festivals that I had on my list that I needed to attend.
I have never been to such a supportive film festival. I love La Femme.
It's a wonderful new world, and I'm very, very honored. Right now is the time. You are the one. And if you're looking for a helping hand, it is probably at the end of your own arm. I am Shirley Ralph. I love you just the way you are. And I thank you all for this award tonight. I really do. Thank you.
All righty, well there it is.
Hey.
And welcome to the show, Leslie Lapage. I'm very excited by this, really excited by this subject because I know that leaps and bounds of things have been happening, not enough, but enough to where we can keep going and doing what we're doing. Let's first of all welcome to the show. Wait, let me give
Well,
you your
thanks.
appropriate. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. She'll be here a while. Let's just get right into it. First of all, welcome to the show. And so, are you? How long has it been in existence? And are you the founding director?
I am the founding director, and we've been doing this for 17 years. Oh my God. I have done this I know, like I blinked. I just did this like last year was for the first time, I've done this pregnant. I've done this shooting in China. I've done this shooting in different countries. I mean, I have done this every which way you could do this film festival for the last 17 years.
But I have to tell you that I'm a little blown away that, I know the subject of women in film is recently in the last couple of years been really a very prevalent one in the industry. But 17 years, holy moly, isn't that like 105 in dog life?
At least.
And you have a dog. She has a dog, by the way.
I have a dog. That we moved out because she would snore during this interview. We'd have this little like snoring in the background, and people would think like, "What the heck is going on?"
Is that Will snoring while he's anyway? 17 years.
17 years. So we did this, and we launched this, the first really pivotal film festival supporting women producers, writers, and directors. And when we launched, we were told no one will come. Women only make romantic comedies.
Oh my.
You're not going to get any sponsorship. Who would give you sponsorship for this? And so we really I was really a maverick, pounding my way through the brick wall. Now we have people standing on my shoulders, leaping over it. But we've made some interesting forging ahead, right? I mean, but we were doing it before it was cool. We were supporting women before it was cool, before it was the hip thing, before anyone really cared. Yeah. We were the ones championing, saying, listen, women can create and make psychological thrillers and horrors and comedies and action. And, oh my gosh, this is what we can do. In fact, we've honored some of the top filmmakers in our industry. Catherine Hardrick was, somebody that we've admired, and we had the opportunity to award. But this was, a really interesting journey. And over the last 3-5 years of the Me Too movement, and then the kind of resurgence of, people of color and women of color. Diversity and equalism across the board. We have seen this influx, but we've been doing this for a long time, and people look at me and they go, "Oh, she's just a white gal," and I'm actually a woman of color. I'm a Latin girl with very light skin, and I've suffered reverse colorism in my entire life, in my own community, in the film industry. And I was even soliciting as a producer Latin projects 10, 15 years ago. And they were like, we don't want Latin projects. Like, people, Latins don't go to the movies. And I'm like, but I'm a Latin. I go to the movies. What are you talking about? Wow. So I've survived, a lot of these, swells in the ocean of change.
Well, 17 years, there's a lot of things you've experienced. And the fact of the matter is that we won't even, we'll shelve technology for a second. But I just think it's interesting that someone like you has been doing this for 17 years, when in reality, I kind of thought this was a relatively new film festival. But I have to ask you, although you have said it, how has it really changed in the last 17 years? meaning that you said that women would submit stuff and they would go, yeah, they only do romantic comedies. But how has that changed? Has it opened up the door? Are you seeing a lot more diversity? Are you seeing a lot more brave women saying, watch me, let me show you what we got?
Yeah, over the last 3 years, there was definitely an influx of content being created by women for the first time in really a chunk of time. We started off in 2005 was our launch year, and we screened 50 films that year. Last year, the COVID year, when we were completely virtual, we screened 159 plus films,
Wow.
and they were all directed by women.
Wow.
So every single one of them. And we are the high-end boutique festival to go to if you're a women filmmaker. In fact,
Yeah.
I get complaints from women filmmakers going, you know how hard it is to get into your film festival? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's hard to get into my film festival, but keep trying. And they'll come back and submit a different piece of content and they'll get in, or, whatever. Or alumni will get in one year and then submit a second piece and they won't get in. So over the last 3 years, we've really seen an influx of European women filmmaking, a lot domestically in the US and in Canada. COVID hits, and you still have the residual of everything that was created before, right? That they're funneling through the film festival. Then we have our COVID year where the entire planet, world, everything known shuts down, and we're all living in confinement. So this year's is really weird because I've seen an influx of content because everyone's scrambling to make content.
Of course.
But it's content from men and not content from women. I was scratching my head going, why is that occurring? And I had to really dissect it. And I said, oh, of course, because the women are also the mothers, the homemaker, filmmakers, the ones taking care of the kids, the ones taking care of the husbands, etc. And so it's going to take a couple of 2 years for us to gear back up to the volume of creation and content that we had prior to COVID. So we have that issue going on. As far as the products and the content, it's been extremely diverse. Yes, there's focused topics that I see over and over again that I really want to say, hey, ladies, move past this. Like, do we really need a breast cancer documentary again? I've seen 150 of them. Unless you're putting a new spin on this, why on earth are you doing a breast cancer documentary again? Right. And then there was a wave of the Me Too. So there was a lot of documentaries on rape and other issues that women have survived. And I go, okay, that's great, but do we really need another one of those? Right. With that said, there's a lot of dynamic filmmakers out there creating psychological thrillers, really well done, horror movies that are coming into play, and dramas that, have some gravitas to the content. Still, we're a little shy in female animators, those that are making animated short content or long form. We're still a little shy on the women making music videos, which has been dominated by the men, and commercials dominated by men. So we've still got some departments within entertainment that have to be, risen.
Right.
But since we handle docs, features, short content, animation, full feature animation, music videos, commercials, short content, web series, pilots, and film festival screenplays. So we handle everything across the board. Yeah.
One thing I want to ask, and I don't want to stick too much on this whole idea about just women in film. I want to talk about the film festival.
Yeah.
What I do want to ask is, are you getting any particular sort of round of questions or concerns from female filmmakers or anybody in the industry? Is there a type of question that's coming to you all the time going, how do I overcome this? What's the story? Are we ever going to... What is the main stumbling block? If you don't mind me asking, if you can think about that, what would it be?
Yeah, the main stumbling block is there's still sexual harassment out there. It's real. It's there. It hasn't really gone away. It's just been covered up a bit
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And so we still have a lot of women dealing with that. A little less in the Gen Zs, because the
Yeah.
Gen Zs are all about, equality
Of
and
course.
fairness. But in the other generations, we're still hitting that. And it's still dominated by men. And
Yeah.
not that men are bad, but there
No.
are bad people,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And so a couple of bad apples can rot out the whole basket. So,
Right.
but that's really one of those questions. The other real major question is, how do we get our product out there? The studios block this. The studios don't want to help you. They don't want
No.
to allow you in. They don't want you to come to the party, no matter who you are. If you're a woman or a man, doesn't really matter. They don't want you to come play.
No.
So how do you get an agent? How do you get a manager that's going to get you in to the studios? Because the studios don't want to talk to you anyways,
Right.
when you're not produced. So the only real way to do that is to gather your laurels from film festivals, get your wins, network, and try and segue that into an agent that will come to you and approach you saying, hey, what stuff do you have? Can you show me your stuff?
Sure.
And hopefully winning them over where they will then represent you. Because really the reality is you're not getting into Hollywood unless you're repped by one of these people, a manager or an
Absolutely.
agent.
Yeah. Well, one of the and here as a professional actor, it's the same thing that I tell all the actors and creatives that I know is that look, you don't know this, but everybody wants the attention of film festivals. But this is the best way in
Super.
because I mean, look at the fact that I mean, I look at and my wife always makes a joke about this, but she goes, "Hey, let's watch Peaky Blinders." Peaky Blinders. Anyway, and I go, okay, great. And I'm here, been doing this for almost 40 years. I'm like, God damn, I don't want to watch another show. And then I look on Netflix, and I've
Yep.
done 2 Netflix films, and I'm like, there's 50,000 of these films. And everybody that I talk to in the industry says the same thing. But how do you get in? And I keep telling them, and that's why Sal and I started the filmfestivallive.com, is that it's the film festivals. It's
It's
the
a film
fact that,
festival. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, back when I started in the 80s, there wasn't this. I mean,
Right.
I'm real cutting edge and I produce stuff on this that's really, really good. But, back then, you had to, have a black and white photo and you had to knock on, you get an agent. If you're on this
Mm-hmm.
level of the headshots, you're going to get better. Same thing is that it's still about who you know or
Right.
who your friends are. But
Right.
but more importantly is that I think people, and this is why we're trying to make people take film festivals not like they're kids, but they're
Right.
adults because it
Mm-hmm.
is the way in. Because who else can you rub elbows with? Look at your demo. Your
Oh yeah.
demo's star filled.
Yes, thank you. So the festivals, and from the standpoint of an actor or anyone wanting to get into the industry, if you're an actor, the best place is a film festival. Why? Because there's filmmakers there. There's filmmakers there. There's filmmakers there. Did I say it
Wait,
enough?
can you say it one more
For
time?
everyone listening in, there's filmmakers there.
Beetlejuice.
And what do filmmakers, right?
Beetlejuice.
Right. And what do we, right? What do they want to hire? They want to hire actors, and actors meet filmmakers and they keep in contact. And all of a sudden they're doing, a job for them on their next film.
Yeah.
They're bonding, or maybe there's a writer, right? Not all filmmakers are writers.
No.
Most of them can't write.
No.
Some write by default. And if you've got a great script as a writer, then hustle it with the filmmakers, right? Yeah. If they were able to get funding, then they may be able to secure funding on your film or as a combined effort.
Yeah.
And so people really don't understand the networking aspect of film festivals are huge. My son's an actor.
Okay.
My son comes to the film festival. My son is gorgeous and talented and handsome, and he's 13, and he's got blue eyes and blonde hair from my husband's side, and and the filmmakers go, "Oh my God, he's an actor! Oh my God, let's hire him!" And so he's gotten jobs off of just being around the filmmakers, having a mom that happens to run one, but that's just beside the point. Yeah. That just makes him, that just makes him better at memorizing lines because I yell at him, going, "Learn your lines."
Yeah. And maybe a tad bit more credibility.
A tad bit more
Because
credibility.
Bob's not going to be like, I'm not showing you if you don't get your.
Yeah.
One thing, I say this a lot as well, is that I think a lot of people in the business don't understand that the word show business has the word business in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter is that one of the biggest problems from an actor standpoint is that we can't really market anybody. Because if we do, we can get blacklisted in a way, or we won't get into an audition, or whatever the case may be.
And that's
But
nasty.
I know,
And it's
well,
true, and it's nasty.
it is nasty, but I'll show you. We're going to take a small break. I'm going to show you something that I did that I encourage actors and creatives to stop thinking the way Hollywood wants you to think.
Yeah.
And film festivals, I cannot say it, and you've said this, Leslie, that film festivals are a great way to walk into something that's already in motion.
Yep.
And you can't do that by just going to LA or New York or Chicago or Atlanta and walking on the streets going, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't do it. You have to, and film festivals, what a great way to do this, because you just never know who you bump into. Just don't beg. Can you stick around for a couple more minutes? I have some more questions.
Yeah,
Great.
let's do it.
Awesome. Great. Let me go into this really quick thing here. I want to show you folks. So the deal is that I've said this before and shown this to people is that, as a professional actor, one of the things that we can't do is we can't market. We can't say, hey, call up whomever and say, hey, Leslie, I'd love it if you would consider casting me or even looking at my demo reel. You can't do that. So I've really encouraged people, because I've been doing this so long, to do a little guerrilla marketing. So I decided to start producing these viral videos. By the way, on my iPhone that shoots 4K, in my green screen studio. And if you don't have this stuff and you're an actor, look at my light change on my face, then you probably should get out of the business. That's the reality. Because if you don't know how to do these things, then you have to spend money. And that's not okay. When you spend no money, that's okay. And so by learning all these things, attending film festivals and learning this stuff, you can come up with clever ideas to be able to do things. Here's what I mean. So I created an ad that looked like it was just a banner ad, and on breakdowns and different places that I'm trying to buy ads. And it says, what does a casting director really need for their office? And when they click it, it looks like a furniture ad. And here's what they see. Ready? Hey, thanks for clicking the banner. Now, I know you're dying to know what it is that makes a successful casting office or director or production. And the answer is actors. See, you can have a great script, great casting director, a director, producer, but here's the problem. You always need good actors. To be or not to be. But let's face it, there's way too many of us. And we can't market to you, which is odd considering that they call it show business, and that means that there's business in the show. We can't call you. We can't send you an email. We just submit to the breakdowns like the other 4,800 that submitted to you on that casting call, with no action-packed pitch letter, sales letter, and all we do is stand in line and remain quiet. Let's be honest. Lines are for Starbucks, not for careers. If I still have your attention, I want you to watch this next 46-second video. Now don't go away, because there's a quiz after this.
Detective Gennaro, I need to speak with Rex Wilson.
Rex is already out there on the speedway for his practice run.
You know what I mean.
Now let me see your shotgun.
Here, cool it down.
Just like your old man, huh?
Is there a problem, soldier? I'm asking you a question, Lieutenant.
Running in clown shoes.
This is gonna be fun.
Time! What if they need more time? That wasn't so painful. And I even saw a couple of you laughing. So if you like what you saw, operators are standing by.
Yeah, well, Robert's is great. For sure. Oh, you want to book him?
That's my agent. And if you didn't like my approach, well, I'm Daniel Craig, and I hope you enjoyed this commercial. So the point is that you have to try things differently, and if you have social media and you're a producer, director, whatever you happen to be, and you're trying to get out there and hungry, Stage 32, a lot of these different places, Facebook, allow you to try to do some of these things. And if you're not doing them, again, perhaps you need to reconsider your career, because it's not an easy thing to do. Trust me, and doing this for 40 years, it's a constant struggle. But if you don't like the game as much as you like at winning it, I promise you, you need to change your attitude. All right, back to our guest. Okay, all right. Anyway, so
That was really funny, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
And pretty interesting and clever how you kind of looped that in to get them to watch.
Yeah.
So what I do to actors and what I say is, listen, if you're networking at the film festival, that's great, but we all have to be hybrids now. So by default, you have to be a producer. And if you are an actor and you are starting out there, then you have to produce your own demo reel. You have to produce your own short. You've got to solicit that short into the film festivals. You have to get an agent through that short. Then your next step up is to solicit and create a feature film and be a producer on this. Bring in a director, bring in a writer, do something that's going to highlight, your expertise as an actor, whatever that is, the pocket of casting that you're an expertise in, and highlight that, and then get that out there, and then take that and start soliciting that to the agents saying, hey, award-winning film, blah, 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 and here's the link, the free Vimeo link to look at.
Sure.
So, and with this technology on the phone, you can do these down and dirty short films very quickly, get it edited on Adobe or whatever,
or
and solicit, or on your phone, which my son does, and get it out there. So there's no excuse for you other than you're a whiny person who doesn't want to take control of your career. You're
waiting in your trailer for your red M&Ms.
Yes.
And
right. And so you've really got to be, out there. You have to be a hybrid. There is no such thing as, oh, I'm just an actor now, or I'm just a filmmaker, because the business side of the whole business is so cutthroat that this is the only industry that bars talented people from succeeding.
Yeah.
If you're a talented doctor, hey, you'll get picked up by Boston Hospital all day long, right? Yeah. Right? But if you're a talented person that's an actor, they don't want you. They don't want you. And then they only want you when you're the hot girl or hot guy at the bar with all the other agents and managers, circling around them. That's when they want you. And at that point, you don't need any of them.
No. I think I need to hang out with you. I love the real talk and transparency. And you know what? A lot of people kind of try to skirt around. And this doesn't only apply to actors. It applies to everybody else in the business, because everybody's humping and trying to get their scripts submitted and so on. But again, I want to go back to the fact that film festivals help give you an education that normally, again, as an actor, a professional actor, we kind of get on the route of, I have Actors Access, Casting Frontier, blah, 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 blah. I'm paying over $100 a month to get the same leads that are literally low-hanging fruit. And, now, and I'm FICOR, sorry, I said it, but because it's not my hobby, I need to work. But the fact of the matter is that even the union stuff I'm seeing is like $50 and, a meal and a copy. And I'm like, do I look like I can pay my mortgage with an IMDb credit?
Right.
I mean, so but again, I say, your film festivals, it's going to allow you to even if you go there to get in the mindset. That's a huge thing, because the creative process to do this is something where you're constantly going, okay, now what? Let's do this, and we have to create this. And you're absolutely right that you can do some of these basic things like you saw I did, and then you take control of your own destiny, in the sense that if you don't do this way, you then have to stand in line as an actor or a creative and say, oh, it's your script. Oh, it's your production. Oh, so I have to do it your way. And that doesn't spotlight me, because I might be playing something that I go, I'm really good at this. So creating all this at a film festival, in my opinion, is probably the best way to do that.
Yeah. Well, and I hope that everyone listening in submits to La Femme International Film Festival on Film Freeway, because we're coming down to our extended deadline. We got one more deadline coming up at the mid-August, like August 10th-ish. So it's either like now, today, or the next deadline, and then you're done for this season.
Let's talk about this.
So we've got call for entries happening right now on Film Freeway. They can tap into Film Freeway. They can go to our website and click on Film Freeway on the homepage, and that'll get them to La Femme International Film Festival. They could submit their. They can attend if they don't have anything to submit. They can attend, and this year we're doing a virtual hybrid thing. So we're going to have
some in person, some online.
Some in person, some all the films are going to be online. We're going to have some events in person for people that can fly in that aren't under quarantine, for some people in the US that can drive or attend. In 2022, we'll be back to our full on ground, and also offering a virtual component as well, but it'll be more on the ground. So this year, we're just kind of throwing in a few things on the ground, because theaters are open, but people aren't comfortable yet going, and people are not flying completely to different places yet. So we're offering that. We'll still show, 100 plus films in all varieties. We will still have amazing seminars. We have 6 panel seminars this year talking about film financing, how to spin your short into a feature length, proof of concept, how to secure, and what is like the way to pitch your script when you have an opportunity to pitch a script. And so our panels are just off the hook on what we offer, because they're very tangible. They're really good. They're from experts that really care about giving you this information. We'll have an opening party somewhere. We will have that on ground element for networking. And then we do this like 2 weeks before, 10 days before we launch. We did it last year and it was very successful. So we're going to keep doing this year after year. We did this virtual interview. So everyone has their 3 minutes of fame. All the filmmakers have their 3 minutes of fame. Now, we've done this in the past on the ground, but we can only squeeze in about 40 of our 100 plus filmmakers. So last year we did it all virtually. We literally were interviewing people from 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday to 8 p.m. every 3 minutes. It was insane. My hosts were like, "This is tough, Leslie. This is tough."
Trust me, I know that one. No, that's great. I think I'd love to talk to you all about running some of your interviews, helping promote the film festival. Let me ask you something I'm sure you hear a lot of. I know the answer, but I want you to say it out loud. Is that you don't have to just be a woman to enter La Femme?
No. You have to be a woman to submit. Let's put it this way. We support women producers, writers, and directors. So in order to submit and to be able to participate, a woman had to have been in one of those positions, either a producer, either a writer, or a director. So it doesn't disqualify you because you didn't, no female directed it, but a female produced it and wrote it. You can still get in.
Sure. So some connection with having a female in the creative process. And
in the 3 key roles, right? So we're not about excluding guys. We like guys. Guys are great.
Some guys,
they're very. Some guys are great. Some guys are better than great. Well, it's not about excluding the boys. It's just about enhancing the girls.
Absolutely, I understand. I love the fact that you do have the panels and you're doing it. A lot of film festivals that I've talked to some are totally okay with doing online, but some are absolutely not okay. And they're just, like I spoke to San Antonio the other day, and they really are just very clear that they want to stay in person. And we get that. But
I get that, and we will be in person next year. I mean, we will be fully operational in 2022, back on the ground as we were prior to COVID. But we're still going to have a virtual element, which means that all our seminars will be virtual. So everyone on the planet can tap in and see those. And all
Bingo.
our films will be virtual, and everyone
Yeah.
on the planet can tap in and see those.
Right. Well, I mean, when you think about it, as a strange analogy is that, look, I mean, doing it online also, it's like Starbucks. If Starbucks just had Seattle and they had one street corner, then you would go, I don't know, I've been to Seattle, I remember them, but nowhere else. But now they're every, twice a block. But the
Mm-hmm.
point is that when you put a film festival like yours and you allow it to be globally, what a wonderful thing, because you have a
Oh
large
yeah,
audience. What's wrong with that?
we've got a 1.8 million audience. We're reaching 1.8 million people. I have reach that goes to Zimbabwe. I mean,
Wow.
I reach out to. I'm so global, it's crazy.
Well, that's a good thing. Last thing I want to ask you, and of course, I call this a best four-letter word in the English language, and that's free.
Mm-hmm.
Free advice. I want to ask you, I always ask my guests, I don't care if it's about life, I don't care if it's about film, I don't care if it's about, whatever, how to pick the right donuts or right donut shop. If you have any free advice, this is the time to pull it out, because I really love that people who have been doing things, or even life itself, have things that they can share with people, because that's kind of what we're all about. So it's all you. Anything you have to say?
Yeah, my free advice is stop whining.
Wow.
Just stop whining and
I
do it.
love you.
Suck it up. Suck it up. Start putting your dreams into action. Stop whining about, oh, I can't do it, and oh, I got this, and oh, my this, and oh, my toe hurts, and whatever you're whining about.
My toe
Stop
hurts.
it. Right? Just stop it. Unless you're living, someplace in the swaller of, the gutter
The
someplace, you
gutter.
have nothing to whine about.
No.
You're a filmmaker. Go out and make films and start being proactive. That may be a
Wow.
little bit of a harsher.
I think
I
you're
hope everyone
awesome.
listening in is going, "Oh my God, she's just crazy."
She's brutal. No, brutal is good, because that's one of the biggest things that separates the humans from the other people in this industry. And the point is that this is the hardest industry in the world, from directing to
Super
shooting to
hard.
producing to, it's basically getting people to accept the ideas that you have in your head and be able to put them into something where everybody else can look at it and go, that's awesome. and
Mm-hmm.
and you said it right, and I appreciate the fact that you're like the A team. You're like, she's like gung ho. But I really appreciate that. Of course, Leslie Lapage, the founding director of La Femme International Film Festival, really appreciate you coming on. I think when you get closer, by the way, the dates again for the film
Is
festival.
October 14th through the 17th of this year, October. And you can tap on in. We're going to start selling early bird tickets for people that want to, attend.
Yeah.
We still got a little bit of a call for entry, so you can still get in a product if you've got one created. If not, buy a friggin' ticket. Even virtually, I have meetups and greet ups, and we did these like spin dating for filmmakers, where I
Wow.
dated them with other people and did this whole thing, which we're going to be doing again this year. You've got opportunities to meet these people and network. So don't be shy, buy a ticket and see some amazing films.
When they buy
Even
a
if
ticket, let me ask you, do you have an archive that if someone says, look, unfortunately, I can't be there, but I want to buy a ticket for the virtual stuff, will you have it in a catalog or a library that they eventually could come back and see if they wanted?
No, our film festival works for just that 4-day period. But if they
Okay.
buy a ticket on a Sunday to see the films, they have I think an additional 24 hours or 48
Okay.
hours to see films past that. Yeah.
Great, great. Okay. Leslie LePage, I appreciate all of that you've said, and certainly your candor and your wonderful straightforwardness. Uh,
Well, that's what I offer to the party is
there it is.
straightforward, and to tell people, listen, it's a really brutal business out there. And if you don't keep positive, and if you don't have a backbone, and if you don't believe in who you are, no one else will. So
Absolutely.
your goal is believing in who you are. and your capabilities.
What a great way to end it, because I was a little concerned that everybody was going to call me up and go, you guys really, I don't want to do this anymore. And then maybe you shouldn't. Leslie Lapage, Femme International Film Festival. It's been a pleasure. I know we're going to check back with you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right. Hang tight.
Thanks.
Hey, everybody, that's the show for today. Really hope that you enjoyed it. Wow, what a great interview. And of course, you can get all of these interviews on our filmfestivallive.com. And Sal and I are out there trying to help promote and help people donate to organizations like La Femme, the International Film Festival. And really, I just want to say to all of you, take heed in what she said, because it's what I say all the time anyway. And it's like, look, if you want to live your life and be very happy about the decisions you make, you have to make decisions. Intention is wonderful, but intention doesn't pay the bills, and it doesn't make you happy inside. So get out there and do what you can. And by the way, check us out. We'll be out here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be safe, be well, but more importantly, be successful. Talk to you soon.